This podcast is sponsored by Natural Boss and New Hampshire Vape Gallery. More on that later. Let's start talking with Topher. All right, so I totally forgot that it's November, and November is important to me because I do a water fast every 6 months, and it's a 5-day water fast. And if you want to join me on this 5-day water fast, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that. Let's see, we're on the 4th day of November right now, the day after election. And I always do this before my birthday, before Thanksgiving, every November and every May of every year. That's the 6-month gap. And right now I'm going to tell you the week that I'm going to be starting this, and then I'll explain what I do. So I'm going to take November 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and the 14th. That the 10th is when I stop eating, and then the 15th is when I can start eating again. It's a 5-day water fast, so there is no food for 5 days. I drink anywhere from 5 to 6 bottles of water. I bring them everywhere with me, and I make sure I always bring 5 with me so I don't lose count. And I just drink those 5 all day. And sometimes I'll do more, sometimes I'll do less. It's usually more when I start, and it gets a little bit less as we get towards the end. I also drink black coffee. I've done this without coffee, and I've done it with coffee. Sometimes I prefer it without, just because you can't put anything in the coffee, so the caffeine really kicks in and gives me the shakes. I still train jiu-jitsu during these times because I have class Wednesday and Thursday, so I will definitely be training on an empty stomach. No heavy working out and no running while I'm fasting. I don't do that to myself. That's a little too much. So I'm going to decide. I'm going to decide right now. No coffee. So we're going to do 5-day water fast, no food, vitamins only, and no coffee. And that's going to be my 5-day water fast for the month of November. So email, YouTube, comments. If you're joining me, that's great. 5-day water fast. Are you with me? Let's do it. Here we are. Episode 31. It is Monday afternoon on this November 2nd. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's been watching, subscribing, and commenting. All of you TwT fans are amazing. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love doing this podcast, and I love that I get to share it with all of you. Like I always say, tell a friend, comment. Give us a good rating. It's all very important. Push TwT onto your friends and pass it around. That's what's going to make this bigger, all right? So everybody who comments, that pushes this thing to the top. I want to hear your comments. I want to know what you're thinking. I want this to be interactive. And to get interactive, well, I got an email. That's right, talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. Go to that email, okay? If you have a story or someone you know has a story that needs to be heard, submit it to the email, talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. I am looking so forward to getting your emails. It's going to be the easiest place to contact me. It keeps it all in a nice, orderly place for me. I like everything to be organized, so if you send this stuff to the email, it keeps it organized for me. Plus, I get notifications, so if you send the email, I'll be able to get back to you ASAP. Now, you can follow me on social media. I'm talking Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook. follow me if you would like. But, you can send messages through there, but it's going to be easier if you send the messages to the email. All right. And so with all that being said, let's get into today's podcast. Trying to keep this thing rolling. I am trying to work on a lot of stuff, guys. I am working on a lot of stuff. All right, I'm trying not to ramble. Not saying it's not going to happen, but I'm trying to do it much, much less. Also, trying to get this sound down. Working on it. I am working on it. I got it down to the point where I can get it out of the left and right speakers, so I'm getting somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. I'm hoping this one's going to sound even better. I fixed my gains. I got some friggin' software, and I tweaked it a little bit. So, like I said, this is a learning process for me, so just bear with me while I get a grip on it, all right? Other things that happened this week. It has been crazy here. We got snow on Friday. That's always fun. What a shitty ride into work. And then I got to shovel when I got home. It was fantastic. How I missed it so. But I mean, this is New England. If you don't expect snow from October to 15th until March 31st, then you're just lying to yourself. There's no way around it. This is what happens. Sometimes she's very nice to us up until November, December. And other years, she starts in October, and she doesn't give up until the end of March. So it's just the way it is. This is New England, and we got some snow. I found out my snow thrower has a broken shear pin, so we got to fix that. And then I was also a little bummed out because I forgot to bring my lawn furniture in, and then we got all that snow, and then, had to wait for it to melt before I could put it away. And then you have to dry everything off so that when you put it away in the shed, the water doesn't freeze and smash the friggin' table on me. So, because they'll do that. A lot of people take their tables from outside, and I think most of us tilt them on their sides. And, what happens is all the water will run down into the channel, and then it freezes. And when that freezes and expands, you take the risk of it shattering your tabletop. So usually I just wait till a nice, beautiful, sunny day, and I put all this shit away, but this year I was a little bit behind. I haven't done any yard work in 7-8 weeks now because of my nose getting surgery. I've just been avoiding it. I've got 3 days left. 3 days left. We've hit the 8-week mark. This thing's done. I can breathe. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And if this is something that you are fighting with right now, go talk to your doctor. Get it done. It is worth all the pain, the suffering, the endless runny nose, the endless congestion for approximately 6 weeks. So I just started getting relief about a week ago, and it's just worth every bit of everything I went through. 100 times I would do it again. So if this is something that's really hurting you or bothering you, then go talk to your doctor and get it done. It is just, you can hear it. It's amazing. I have never been able to breathe like this in my life. I can smell better, and I just am a happier person because of it. NaturalBossNH.com. They've got more than hand sanitizer. That's right. Super excited to announce that new products have hit the webpage. That's right. You've got an Uplift and Smooth Lip Care Balm. And now we've got beard oil. You got a Woodsman scent and a Dapper scent. And then we have a foot and body soak salt. Absolutely amazing. Brand new products, guys. It's just hit. And I'm here to tell you about it. And you can only find this at naturalbossnh.com. That's naturalbossnh.com. So not only can you get a wonderful, amazing hand sanitizer or a salve that's great for dry skin, but now you got beard oil, lip balm, and a foot or body soak. So you need to go to naturalbossnh.com and get any of these amazing organically made products today. You looking for a new vape shop? Well, good. I got one for you to check out. That's right. It's New Hampshire Vape Gallery, and it's located in Seabrook, New Hampshire, in between Home Depot and Smoke Rings on 180 Lafayette Road. Feel free to give us a call 7 days a week, 603-814-4171, and we are open from 10:30 to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. I am just so excited to tell you about this. If you are looking to quit smoking and you've never vaped before, well then you're one of my favorite customers. Because introduction to this stuff can be very challenging. Less like everything today, there's too much information. So feel free to come on in and speak to us, and we will try to set you straight on what you need to get off of those cigarettes. Come on down to the New Hampshire Vape Gallery and come see me, Topher. Yeah, I'm here to help. And you can find us at 180 Lafayette Road, in between Home Depot and Smoke Rings, in Seabrook, New Hampshire. Give us a call, 603-814-4171. And, of course, we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. Please wear your mask inside and bring your ID because we are 21 plus now. And hope everybody has a great day. Back to the show. Here's something crazy, right? The election's tomorrow, right? So this will be released after the election. So I don't want to talk too much about the election. I really don't know who's going to win. It's going to be insane no matter who wins. The one thing I am going to say is that no matter who wins and no matter what team you have put yourself on, because you don't get thrown into a team, you put yourself on it. That's what I believe. My parents are both Democrats. I never was Democrat. Like I told you earlier, in an earlier podcast, I am an independent. And I've always been registered as an independent. That was something I learned from, my ex-girlfriend's parents were libertarians, and that's what they told me to do. So I did that. So I've always tried to stay away from being on one side or the other, but the problem with a two-party system is that you eventually have to pick a side anyways. And what I want everybody to remember out there is that no matter who wins, just stay calm, breathe. I mean, there's a 50-50 shot you're unhappy anyways, right? So, because if you're voting for one, you're not voting for the other. So that means if the other side wins, you're unhappy. If your side wins, you're happy. So you got a 50-50 shot. And I'm just here to say, calm down. Okay? I don't want either of these parties to win. I think it needs to be new. I've said this before, and it needs to be different. And I understand that we do have groups of people that do things for us, and I understand there's groups within the groups, and I get how the Senate works, and I understand what I need to understand. And I got called out on a few things like, well, don't you know that there's already groups of people that deal with things within here, and now you're saying that there needs to be other groups, and we've already got groups. So it just sounded like I didn't know what I was talking about. And I don't. Let's be honest. I'm a high school grad that didn't go to college, that doesn't read books or keep up with much. So, yeah, it's fair to say I don't know much of anything, but I'm hoping you're not coming here because you think I know something. I know how to stay off of alcohol, and I know how to stay positive and keep myself motivated. That's what I know how to do. This shit, I got no fucking idea. But that's okay, because I still have an opinion. But what I was trying to say, and this is why I'm trying to stop rambling and stop a lot of the things that I do on this podcast and give it more function, give it more of a flow, because it's what I need to learn how to do, right? So just like I need to learn how to stop yelling, I need to learn how to stop rambling, and what I was trying to say is that it all needs to be new. It needs to be new groups of people. And we need to know, as the people, what these groups are doing. Which would mean no more bills being brought up and then passed without us having a say in it. You know, if it needs to go through the group, well, then it should come back to the people. Or you send it to the people first, and then it goes to the group to be decided. So I just think everything needs to be new. I think we need younger people in there. I don't think we need old people in there at all. And that was my main gist of everything. I know I went on much longer than that and ramble. But that was the main gist of it. I want new people, new blood, new ideas, and a new structure. With less people. And then at the top of that, not one person. You know? So that's what I was thinking. I wanted to be groups and groups of people. And then at the top of that is just like a top group of people. It's not this one person. Because this one person, I mean, some people say they got way more power than we think. And then other people are like, you don't even know how little power they have. And it seems like right now, they got enough, you know? And I'm not saying, like, they've got enough where, like, it's a lot. I'm just saying, they've got enough power to do stuff. Whoever is going to be the president, I mean, they got the button. They got access to that button. That's a lot of power right there. So I think that needs to be dealt with as a group of people. Everything needs to be different. And we just need younger blood in there. And here I go, rambling again. Let's move on. All right, so another thing that's been happening this week, actually it started last week. We're doing like a full-on roll at school. Yeah, super exciting. So, I mean, this has been a great transition. You know, working from home. Then going back into school, working with dummies. Then we got to partner up, and now we partner up, and we get to full-on roll, get into it, and go 100% in class now. And we've been doing this, well, it could be closer to 3 weeks now we've been doing it. And I forgot how exhausting it was. It is crazy. I mean, now I'm getting a little bit more used to it because we're doing it almost every class. So you'll get anywhere from 2 to 3 5-minute rounds. And I have to tell you, when we first started doing it again, I was completely gassed after 5 minutes. Now, it just takes me about 30, 40 seconds to do a little bit of breathing, and then we can clap hands and get back into another 5 minutes. So it's getting a little bit easier, but it is so exciting. It is so exciting to do full Randori. It is just so exciting to get back on those mats. Know that, you're going to have a few Randori rounds. And it's just super exciting to see us getting back to just a normal school day. You know what I mean? But it's just been amazing. I love jiu-jitsu. I can't say it enough. This is definitely one of the things in my life that I am so happy that I got involved in. I mean, not just for the discipline, for the confidence that it's given me. The discipline alone was something that I truthfully needed in my life. I needed some type of discipline because I had none, which is why I kept drinking. I didn't have discipline. And I just can't say enough good things about it. And I know that a lot of people out there, oh, he's doing it again, jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I am, because this podcast is about spreading positivity. And I am positive that jiu-jitsu will bring positivity into your life. It is something that you should get into. And if you've thought about it, then you're already going in the right direction. Stop thinking about it, though. Go do it. Go get in there and do it. And I'm telling you this because everybody's like, oh, well, everybody goes into that school. Doesn't matter if it's PMA or this jiu-jitsu school or that jiu-jitsu school. It doesn't matter. Go to a good jiu-jitsu school near you and try it out. That's it. Most of these places, I'm pretty sure most places will let you try it out, for a small fee. Before you even sign up and pay the yearly tuition. And just go. Try it out for yourself. Check it out. And if it's not jiu-jitsu you're into, that's fine too. Whatever you're into, you need to go do it. That's why I talk about this stuff over and over and over again. And I love jiu-jitsu. I've said before, I didn't have time for it. Now, I can't live without it. It is a structure in my life that I cannot live without because it just keeps me centered and focused. And the family that's in there is amazing. I couldn't be around a better group of people. And I love the camaraderie. I just love everything about it. It is filled something for me that I felt was missing. And it just gave me something where I have to prove myself. And I'm not saying like ego-wise. I'm just saying like I can't move up in the ranks if I'm not really putting in the work. My professor's not just going to give me, my next step will be a purple belt, but I'm not just going to get that for showing up, I'm going to get that because I worked my butt off and I'm submitting people and, just doing everything the way it needs to be done. And we all start as white belts. Remember that too. This is not something that you're going to get into. And I hold on, let me backtrack that. I don't believe this is something that a lot of people can get into and move up the ranks extremely quickly. And the only reason for that is work, right? I wish I could move up the ranks faster than I do. I really do. But I don't have enough time. I only go 3 days a week, and that I can't do any more than that because of work schedule, blah 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 blah. Life, like we say in there all the time, life gets in the way, right? And without work, you can't pay for it anyway, so it's okay. But as long as you go in there, you do what you're supposed to do. You know, you don't stay a white belt forever. And it's like, oh yeah, but I don't want to be we all started somewhere. We all start on the bottom. And the only people that make it to black belt, well, they're white belts that just never quit. All right? So, and, you know, if it's not what you're into, I get it. Well, go try something else. Try Muay Thai. Try karate. I don't know. Try anything. Kickboxing. MMA. I mean, PMA has everything. Professional Martial Arts Academy in Derry, New Hampshire has it all. So if you don't like this and you might like that, you can try them out. Try them out and just check them out and see what's in there for you, right? But I'm just trying to get people out of their comfort zones because it's what's worked best for me. I was in a very comfortable position, and the only reason I can say that is because I know that I was in a comfort zone that I wouldn't get out of because I wouldn't stop drinking. Right? So my thing was go to work, come home, drink, watch TV. At the time, I was still smoking cigarettes. Watch some more TV, smoke some weed, smoke more cigarettes, drink more, watch some more TV. So there was no activity in there. The only time I ever got activity is when I got up to go get something out of the fridge. You know, there was no activity. The activity was drinking and drowning in my sorrows. I was a very negative person. I was very unhappy all the time. And looking back on that, it was my own fault I was unhappy. You know, I wasn't doing anything. And this is what I've learned. This is what I've learned. And that's why I keep talking about this stuff. And that's why I think more people need to get on those mats. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's for jiu-jitsu. But it's going to get you out of your comfort zone. That's for sure. It's going to give you a real good workout, which is great for your body, your health. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. You know, besides getting out of a comfort zone and having a positive outlook on things, you got to take care of your health, right? And these lockdowns are absolutely 100% stupid. They're so stupid. And I only believe this because, all right, so I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I've already established that I'm a friggin' nobody, right? I'm a nobody with a microphone and an internet connection. But I'm also not a moron, all right? I don't consider myself to be freaking stupid. I'm not smart, but I'm definitely not fucking R-worded either. And the reason I say it like this is because, well, these lockdowns are not helping, right? You got people locked down. They can't pay their bills. They can't pay their mortgage. Oh, don't worry. We got something that will help you with that. Everybody files for it. 1% of people got it. Some people still haven't gotten it since March. So they keep telling us, oh, we got this stuff for you. No, this is ridiculous. They don't have anything for us. They don't want to do anything for us. We have to understand that everything we need to do to survive this pandemic virus, well, the pandemic and the virus, is we have to do it ourselves. So what I have done for myself is I listen to whatever anybody is saying, to an extent, right? And what I've gathered is masks do little, but they're better than nothing. Cool. I can accept that. I wear my mask. I don't care. The other thing that I really grabbed a hold of was speaking to people for more than 15 minutes. Like I said, or maybe I didn't. I don't even remember. Oh. Because, like, one of the things that I wear my mask for is I would really enjoy to see my grandmother again for Thanksgiving. I would love to see her for Christmas. And I don't want to take any chances of getting her any more sick than she already is. I mean, she's 93. She's been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I don't know if this could be her last Christmas. So I'm playing it safe for her. So, like I said, I'm not a moron, but we can all see that there's certain things that seem to be working really well. Now, why are we not talking about health? Why is health not the number one thing that we are talking about? There has been more people now staying at home, eating, drinking, and gaining weight. I didn't know this, but I guess there's been quite a bit of an uptick. And I'm not really surprised. I mean, they closed the gyms, for Christ's sakes, which is the stupidest thing I think anybody can do, is close the friggin' gyms. What are we doing? No one talks about it. None of our officials talk about it. The only people talking about it are on fucking podcasts. This is crazy. The simplest thing that you can do is take care of yourself. And we're not talking about it. Instead, we're doing these giant lockdowns and shutting down gyms and closing all these places that we need. And it makes no sense to me, and I wish that I had a bigger platform. But even the giant platforms out there talk about this on almost every single podcast now, because this is the subject to talk about, because, well, what else is going on? You know? Oh, Comedy Central's going under, and so is Quibi. There's no shocker there. Quibi didn't have much to offer, so were you surprised? I was a little shocked about Comedy Central, but they did it to themselves. Put your fucking content out there for free, you morons. Stop making people pay for everything and stop hiding behind an HBO wall. Irritating. But health, it's fucking important. And the only reason I know about this is because my health was going down the shitter. Yeah, it was going down the shitter. I was drinking every single day. I was eating like shit all the time. And then I get sober, and I still ate like shit all the time. My diet didn't change. If anything, it got worse because I was looking for sugar because I was freshly off of alcohol. So then I had another battle. And I had to battle that. This life is a battle. This is not easy. This is a battle. It's a fight. It is a fight to live every single day. So why are you not fighting for your health? Right? Lockdowns don't make any sense at this point. Not one iota. If you're locking us down, it's because you don't know what you're doing anymore. We have numbers, we have percentages, and we have the information we need, for the most part, to try and live with this thing the best we can as of right now. Are we going to know more in the future about this? Are we going to be able to live with this easier in the future? I think so. I figure things got to get easier as we learn more and more about them, right? So in the beginning we knew nothing, then we knew some come June, and now we know a lot more. And we're getting close to a vaccine, they say, and they're doing all this shit to try and help us. But guess what? We have a flu vaccination. Hundreds of thousands of people die every year from the flu. But you don't see us locking down. The flu kills children. We're not closing our schools. So what are we doing? Now, I had already said I'm trying not to get sick so that I don't give it to my grandmother. So I'm sure those kids who know no better, if they get it and then bring it home and grandma, grandpa live there, then it could be tragic, right? So you don't want to do that either. But I think no matter what we do, we're going to continuously see an uptick of this disease. More and more of us are going to catch it, including myself one day. I believe I'm going to get it. Massachusetts is blowing up right now. Connecticut and Vermont put a travel ban on Mass. They got over 1,000 people a day positive. You know, they got 22 deaths a day right now. So they're up over 20 people a day dying. But this is going to happen. There's no way to stop that. It's a virus that we know very little about. And even with the viruses we know a lot about, people still die from that. People every year die from it. So what are we to do, right? And this is why I said I'm not R-worded. We have to learn to live with this. And I know all the facts aren't there. And I know that some of the stuff that I'm doing is probably not right. But I'm doing everything I can so that I can keep moving forward in my life and not have it come to a complete stop. And I think we all need to do this. If we can, right? And if you're out of work right now, I'm very sorry for that. I do not know what I would be doing if I was still without a job. I mean, I mentioned in another podcast that my quarantine routine, you know, I did everything I felt I needed to do to make sure that I didn't lose my house and I didn't, lose the cars, and I didn't lose anything, right? I had to reconstruct everything. I spent 2 weeks just going through all kinds of stuff that I could eliminate, that I could consolidate, and that I could defer. So I turned that into my job. Now, if you've been out of work for a long time and you didn't do that yet, well, then you need to do that. You need to do that right now. Because if you're out of work still, or you're newly out of work, the last thing you want to do is depend on our government to help you. That's not going to happen. No one's giving you anything. They already lied to us about the second stimulus check. That ain't fucking happening. That's on pause. They'll get back to it after election. Oh, and by the way, that's when we're supposed to stop hearing about COVID. Which I think is a bunch of bullshit, too. You can't stop talking about a virus because the election's over. But we got to learn to live with this. And again, this is where the big government comes in. I feel like if they had done something across the board for all of us, whether we agree or disagree, I think it would have been better for all of us to accept if we were all doing the same thing instead of each state being different. And that's what I got. That's my point. Certain things need to be taken care of on a bigger scale because they're a bigger issue. And if we had just done certain things across the board, I bet you there would have been less questions. I bet you there would have been, more answers and less of a runaround. But I know this is I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is episode 31, and I don't know where I'm going with this, right? I'm doing my best. But I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to share my feelings. And this is how I'm feeling right now. I feel angry that this is such a crazy, stupid... I thought last election was fucking stupid. This one's even worse. And then with this coronavirus on top of it, it's made everything super frustrating because now not only did a lot of people like myself lose their job and then get their job back, but now, depending on how your state's doing, they're talking about taking away our jobs again. We can't let this happen, right? Now, I'm not saying that bars are where it's at, right? They're not, all right? What we need to do is we need to look at it as a collective and find out what's the leading cause of spreading. All right? And so far, those numbers are coming in from giant gatherings. So what are your giant gatherings? Well, they're your protests. Yep. They're bars, concerts. And I hate saying this because it makes me sad too, because I like going to comedy shows and I like going places. I do. There's certain things that I like to do. I don't really do the restaurants too much, and I don't go to bars because I don't drink anymore, so it seems kind of silly for me to be at a bar in the first place, unless it would be like a fucking pot bar. That makes sense, but there's just certain things right now that seem like they're going to need a little bit more time before we come back to them. But as for retail stores, and anything like that, gyms need to be wide open, people. We need all our gyms open. People need to be respectful and do what they need to do in order to go use the gym, but you do not want to close down gyms and hurt people's health even more. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Health, people. This is nuts. And now they're talking about doing it again. Well, it's not happening. We've already discussed it. We're not shutting down for nobody. We got our tobacco license, so now we're considered a tobacco shop, and that allows us to leave our doors open. So one other thing that we needed to do in order to make sure that we don't get shut down again. And these are the steps that I always am talking about. You got to have a plan. You got to execute that plan. And then you should always have a backup plan just in case the plan goes sideways. All right, I'll let you in on a little secret. And it's not really that big. It's not really a secret, but it's something that I'm doing and I'm working on. And ever since this lockdown, I have had to do a lot of juggling, and I'm talking not with balls and stuff like that, but with numbers, right? And I had to figure a lot of stuff out. I had to defer a bunch of stuff. And now that everything seems to be getting back on track, I'm taking the steps that I need to in case this all falls apart again. So this is my plan B action. And that's what I'm talking about. You got to have a plan B, all right? You got to execute plan A, but just be ready for when something goes sideways again, and you got to have a plan B. And I am just doing everything in my power to make sure that whatever I was dealing with in the beginning doesn't happen again. So now we're refinancing the house. I really, truthfully did not want to do this, because I look at a refinancing like not a bad thing, but I feel like we're kind of stuck here for a little bit longer now. So I had to make that decision, because I was like, fuck, man, do I want to stay here, or do I want to put the house up and sell it? And I mean, you can still do that after you refinance. I get it. But I'm not going to, because I'm going to want to pay off a good chunk and then get back into it. And then sell. So that, when I sell the house, I get some good profit. And that's the whole point of owning a house. I keep saying to my friend Tyler, I'll talk about this shit with him, and we'll discuss things. And then I always look at him and I go, why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we buy houses? Why do we get married? Why do we do this to ourselves? Think about it, all right? And I'm not saying that marriage is bad, and I'm not saying that buying a house is bad, but just think about it, right? We buy a house, we lock ourselves into it, and then shit breaks. You're constantly fixing it up. You're constantly doing yard work. You're constantly doing... Buying a house is worse than buying a fucking car. You think you're working on a car a lot? Buy a house. You're working on it 3 times as much. So I always go, why do we do this? Why do we do this to ourselves? What is happening right now? And it's kind of humorous, because I'm just like, well, we do it because this is what we're all doing. And then, like, I mentioned marriage because, I mean, every guy that I know that's married has some fantasy of some chick they've never met, but they've just seen in passing. And I do the same. And I've looked at someone and I've been like, wow, that's amazing. But then you think about all the work that needs to be done in order for 2 people to get on the same page, right? So it's like, if you're married, like I am, then you've already done it to yourself once. So I believe I have a different way of looking at things, especially now. I mean, I can only speak for the last 4 years, too. Remember that as well. I'm only speaking from the last 4 years. I mean, anything before that, I don't have an accurate thought. So my thought process is, well, yeah, it looks nice. Or in my imagination, it seems like a good idea. But do I want to go through all that work again? My answer is usually no. I think about all the stuff you would have to go through. What if this person doesn't like this? You don't even... And I go through a whole thing by myself. And I'm like, yeah, that's a big waste of time. It's a giant waste of time. But it still begs the question, if a lot of us out there are unhappy with our house purchases, our car purchases, our wives, any of that stuff, or husbands, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to exclude you. Why do we do this to ourselves? What makes this so attractive besides the fact that I can have dogs, right? I can have dogs. Nobody can tell me what I can and can't do for the most part on my own property. I could walk out there naked and go start a fire. Not that I would, because there's fenced areas and people can see me. But there's no stopping me, right? For the most part. So you get the freedoms, and then, you get married, and for some people, there's different reasons why you get married, right? And my thing is I found my best friend, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't lose her. And I found somebody that was just so accepting of exactly who I am that I didn't think I'd ever find that ever. So I married her because, she was perfect for me. She let me be me, which was something that nobody I was with would ever let me be. And she let me be me all the time, even with the faults, even with the drunken stupidity, but she just let me be me. And that was something that nobody's ever done. So I did not want to lose that. And if anything, it made me work harder at bettering myself because I always saw her as better than me. So, but I always ask this question, why do we do this to ourselves? Why did I do this? I'm in the middle of refinancing the house. I got to deal with the bank. Why did I do this? Because the outcome's going to be good. Because I wanted my freedoms. Because I didn't want to pay rent anymore. And if I'm going to be paying rent, I might as well be paying a mortgage and getting something out of it. So even though I ask that silly question, and sometimes it's in humor, and other times I'm serious, I just think it's funny, right? We want all this shit, but we don't want to deal with the problems. But why is this the dream? I think doing what you love and bettering yourself as a person is the biggest thing you can do. Yeah. I think that's the best thing you can do. You just better yourself. Keep bettering yourself. And say no to locking down gyms. Say no to lockdown. No to lockdown. Fuck them. This is ridiculous. They're not going to hold us down. They can go fuck themselves as far as I'm concerned. So, this is going to come out on Thursday. So, the election's over. I hope you voted. I do not care who you voted for, but I hope you voted. I do believe that exercising our right to vote is an important thing. And if you're a person saying that my vote isn't important, then you're part of the problem. Because if you don't vote, then guess what? I don't even hear you. I don't want to know who you voted for, nor do I care. But if you voted, we can have a conversation. But if we start having a conversation and I find out you're not a voter, we're done with the conversation because you got no right to speak to me. You got no right to say anything. You can't sit there and complain about shit because you're part of the problem. So make sure you get registered and you get your vote in next time around because it is important. We all should be contributing as long as you can. And that's it. That's it. Make yourself part of the conversation. Make your vote count by putting it in the ballot box or in the mailbox or wherever you had to put it this time around. Usually it's just a ballot box. But if you want to complain, you want to argue points, and then you want to sit there and tell me you didn't vote, well, I'm not going to listen to you. And I feel like more people should be this way. I feel like all of us who vote should tell the people who don't vote and complain about their vote not counting to just be quiet and then put in your vote, and then I'll listen to you. All right? And just another reminder, I don't really think it's going to matter who wins this time around. I'm telling you that much right now. I really don't. There's going to be chaos on both sides, and I'm not going to be part of any of it. So I suggest none of you become a part of it either. Stay home, stay safe, stay COVID-free, and stay away from the craziness that is going to be our 2020 election. All right? On that note, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the week. Remember, send me all your stories, your friends' story, whatever you got going on. Send it to talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. That's, again, talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. Send anything you want to the email. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook. Hit me up there, but I would prefer if you are sending me a story or a friend's story that you want to have heard, send that to talkingwithtopher@gmail.com. And again, I thank everybody for watching, listening, commenting. Keep it coming. Tell more friends. Let's blow this thing up. 100 subscribers, and I got a story. I'm telling you, it's a good one. You probably already looked it up, maybe. I don't know. You can find it. It is documented, and that's fine. But 100 subscribers, and I've got a good one for you. So it'll be just that story, because I'm pretty sure it's going to take an hour to go through it. But that's fine. It's a fun one. And that's it. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Subscribe, hit the like buttons, do all that shit. And if you don't want to do that, well, then go pound sand. And I still hope you have a great rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And remember, no matter who wins, just calm down. It's going to be okay. We made it through these 4 years. We'll make it through the next, all right? If Trump, COVID, didn't take us out, and we're still here, whoever's next plus COVID will be fine. We'll be fine. We're going to learn to live with this virus just like we're going to learn to live with the next candidate. All right? So, this is Talking with Topher, and I'll talk to you later.